Good morning, everybody. This is Miss Eigner. I'm here to explain your biomolecules project. This is going to be a summative project, so do your best on this to show your understanding of biomolecules. For this project, you've got one of 4 options to choose from. So make sure you look at all 4 options before you decide which one you want to do. You can decide to do a summary of biomolecules. So for a summary of biomolecules, you'll kind of be telling me about the 4 biomolecules in general, some information about them. Or you can decide to research a fad diet, for example, the Atkins diet or the South Beach diet, etc. Then you need to decide if you want to create a mind map, and I'll bring out some examples of mind maps from last year. Or you can write an old-fashioned paper, whichever one you want. So the first option is doing a mind map with a summary of the biomolecules. So for this, you are going to have to include on your mind map the 4 biomolecules, what they look like, the monomers and polymers of each. So what are the units that make up a protein? For example, that would be amino acids. How the biomolecules are used in the body, so what is their function, and what kind of foods can you find these biomolecules in. There's also some resources here on what a mind map might look like that you can check out. You can also do a summary of biomolecules, but instead of doing a mind map, you could do a paper. For a summary paper, you are going to answer the following questions. What are the 4 classes of biomolecules? Where are they found in our diet? So what kind of foods can you eat to get these biomolecules? Do we need to eat them all to survive, or do we produce any inside of our body? And what happens when we're deficient? So if you don't eat enough protein, what would happen to your body? Your other 2 options down here are if you decide to research a fad diet. So you would choose a fad diet, and you can create a mind map for the fad diet or a paper for the diet. If you're doing the mind map, you want to include the history or timeline of your diet. So how did it start? Who thought of it? How long has it been around? How is it marketed to the public? What kind of advertisements are out there for this diet? What are the goals of the diet? And the most important part is what kind of biomolecules does the diet promote and what kind of biomolecules does the diet avoid? For example, there are some diets out there that really focus on eating a lot of proteins and is avoiding a lot of carbohydrates. That would be an example. And another important part is how do you see the diet being problematic, because you know we need all 4 of these biomolecules in order to fully function as humans. So if you avoid yourself as 1 or more of these biomolecules in a diet, how might that be problematic for our health? You could also do the fad diet summary paper. So once again, you'll choose a fad diet. You'll talk about a lot of the same things as you would with the mind map, except that in this case you are talking about it in a traditional paper. And there's some examples of fad diets linked down below. If you decide to do a mind map, it needs to be the size of about 1 regular piece of paper. If you decide to do a paper, it needs to be 1 page, 12-point font, 1.15 spacing. You can decide to work by yourself, or you can decide to work with 1 other person. No groups more than 2 people. If you do decide to work with a partner, you need to double your requirements. So if you decide to work with a partner on a mind map, you need 2 pieces of paper taped together, or a large poster paper for the mind map. Or if you decide to work with a partner and write a paper, you need to write a 2-page paper together. Your rubric for your mind map is located down below in the document, as is your rubric for the paper. So this project will be due next block. So a week from today, you will have today to work on it, and you will have some time on Monday to work on it as well. The rest of it should be done outside of class. This document is posted to Google Classroom. If you have any questions, you can email me, and I'll respond ASAP. All right, thank you and have fun.